All right, folks, we're going to keep on with our rifle calibers this week like we started Sunday. But today we're going to talk about a really old one that's been doing what it does for a really long time. Done great as a commercial hunting cartridge, didn't do so hot as a military cartridge, and it's American, and that's the 4570. Now, with modern ammunition, the 4570 is one of the most versatile rounds you can possibly think to load for. Like I said, if you hand load, you can make 4570 do just about anything. And the government played with it quite a bit. But because there are so many loads, we're only going to talk about the military loadings. Now, mind you, one of the 4570's big merits in full power loading is that fat, heavy bullet. I mean, it's going to hold it, and they're heavy. I mean, these things are double the weight of a 45 ACP, and some of them are double the weight of typical 45 Colt. So they're quite heavy, and they'll reach out on a long, long ways. But they're held back. At least with the old ammunition, they were held back because black powder is only going to develop so much velocity. Even with smokeless powder, you have to be careful about how you load it because it's entirely possible to get too much for the gun because 4570's got a huge case capacity. So what does 4570 mean? 45 caliber bullet, 0.45 inches in diameter, over a 70 grain black powder charge. Now, the government had a couple of different loads that they did for this. One of them was really interesting. One of them was a common service caliber, and the other one was necessary. The common service caliber was the 4570-405, which is a 405 grain bullet over 70 grains of black powder, 45 caliber in diameter, right? And with that, you're looking at about 1,400 feet per second. Quite effective as a service rifle until black powder cartridges and repeating rifles came along. It's trapdoor Springfield, half cock the hammer, thumb the breech open, drop a new round in, thumb the breech down, hit the hammer, shoot again. That's not something I want to be squaring off with my guys running those when my enemy has 7x57 Spanish Mausers, such as what ended up happening at the tail end of the 4570's U.S. government service life with the Spanish-American War. And it's because of that it's probably a good thing it was replaced by the Krag Jorgensen in 3040 U.S. in 1892. But one of the big problems with the 4570 is its power, because with the trapdoor Springfield of the time, while the 405 grain loading did great in the trapdoor rifles, it did not do so great in the trapdoor carbines, to the point where the recoil was a problem mechanically for the weapon. So they downloaded it to 4555, 405. I don't have any load information on that offhand, like right where I can get to. But with the 1884s, a lot of the problems with the breech popping open and stuff like that were fixed. So they beefed it up. They went from a 405 grain bullet over 70 grains of black powder to a 500 grain bullet over the same charge. So this is a thumper. But the interesting one was the foraging load that troops could use to acquire food when they were in the field. It used a thin wooden bullet filled with birdshot, and basically converted their service rifle to a 49 gauge shotgun so they could get food without going to a supply chain.